Hello, yeah, I'm back again. I've just been shopping. As you can see, I've got my jacket on and everything else. And I've got myself a phone. That's right. This is what I've been looking for with a grant thing for the universal credit to help me move on with my career. Yeah? So what I've had to do is spend all my benefits to buy this. It's left me, I went to the bank, £29 to last me for 3 weeks. That's what's left me with. Because my business is not a business. Writing a book, making a YouTube channel, making a TikTok channel, making ebooks, make membership cards, things like that, opening up a website where I can make a shop, things like that. But apparently not a business. So I'm going to show you the phone, give you an idea. So what we're doing is we're going to do the YouTube. We're trying to get the followers on TikTok. Very important I get my followers on TikTok, because once I get over a certain amount I can go live. Therefore people can send me little flowers and glasses and things like that, funny things, and that could fund all these other projects I have. I tried to go to college. I'll tell you about all that, right? I'll show you first. I'll show you what I've got, right? Then I'll tell you a little bit of the story, and then we can move on from there. Yeah. So I bought this phone. I don't know. I'm allowed to show the phone. I know to show the phone, but I bought this phone. So I'll show you the back box here, right? Okay, rather than the front, and then I'll open the phone up. I have opened it before already, and I've got to go back at 10 o'clock this morning to get it all sorted with the TikTok thing and everything. Yeah. But this is what I'm going to be using. And I'm also going to be using this on YouTube once I can get it sorted out of there, because me being a brainless old guy that doesn't know technology, I wish I was a wee 18, 19-year-old that goes get it on it, but can't do that, okay? But if I was, it'd be ideal for me, and this would be better for yourself. So, if you're thinking about going on to TikTok, and you're thinking about going on to YouTube or anything like this, follow me and take it step by step. Anyway, here's my phone. Oh, I do have another phone, old. The glass looks horrible and everything, but this brand new phone, yeah, okay. And I also bought a stand with it, which I've not used yet, so I have to show you this, even though I'm not advertising, so I get nothing for it or nothing like that. I've just paid for it myself, and it's going to be a wee funny looking setup, my lights and all that stuff. Yeah. So this is my intentions. You could tell me yes, no, rubbish, do something different, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that right. In return, I'll try and help you as much as I can. If I get my live on TikTok and you want a shout out, I give you a shout out. If you want me to follow you, I follow you, you follow me. Works two ways, yeah. Book a time, it's going to need contents. I tell you all about that, how to put stuff in the book of time, how to get involved with that. Because with me, it's all about the book, really. Yeah, everything else is a sideline. Yeah. So we got this phone anyway. It's I think it's Samsung is the name of the company. I don't know, but the one I got there is a Hawaii, which I really like. I like the Hawaii. Yeah. But anyway, I think this is a Samsung. Yeah. And I'm just going to post it. What I'm talking to you on now is a laptop, and I've also got a 53-inch monitor there. Now, sometimes when I'm talking, I might have a not well thing. Yeah. When I'm not well thing, I like to see it. And when I have to do my injections, don't like injections, just turn away, because I'm now one of the diabetics. I have to inject all the time, and I have to take hundreds of tablets. I'm forever taking tablets. It does my nut out, but I got to do it. Apparently, it keeps me alive. I'd rather go without. But there you go. Turn the phone on, bosh. Phone will get fixed today. Not sure how to go live on it or nothing, so it'll be all explained to me. And as I get explained that, I'll explain to you what was explained to me, in case you're like me and you're not 100% sure and you're scared or whatever. Whatever. Just because you're a wee bit older and you're over the 50 mark doesn't mean you don't have a brain. Yeah? So it doesn't mean you can't do this. There is an income to be earned in this. It just takes a little bit of time to get to that threshold. And then you've got to create the content that you think people will come and look at and join in. And this is what I'm at. I'm thinking, what do I say next? What do I do next? I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, because I just say how I feel and what I am. And I also tell you the story of where I'm going to and where I'm coming from. So let's start off that way. Let's go with the story of where I'm going to and where I'm coming from. We'll start off from where I come from. Okay. Now, my background is kind of weird kind of background. I came here to city I'm in as a young boy, very young. Mum and dad brought the whole family there. Yeah. And the first thing we done was went to work because where we came from, we never knew what the word work meant. Maybe it meant do a bit of shoplifting, do a bit of thieving, break into houses, break into schools, get drunk, fight with each other. Uh, not the kind of IE upbringing that you would want to be brought up with, but it seemed to be the right thing at the right time. So you seem to have joined a kind of gang of, you call them criminals, but a gang of friends who are all on the same boat, who all go down the same road. And that's a hard one to understand unless you went through all that. And I went through all of that, all the way, all the way. And then mum and dad decided that it's too dangerous where we are for us, and we're too dangerous as well, and all that kind of stuff. And we're going down the wrong road with the police knocking the door and the police locking you up and taking you away weekends, and you spend a bit of time in prison, a bit of time in here, a bit of time there, which I done. So we came here, and for maybe about a year and a half, there was a lot of court cases still to go, so you weren't sure how you were. But I found a thing that I kind of changed my life totally, and it was called a job. That's right, I found this thing called a job. Whereas where I came from, I wasn't even looking down that road. And then when I started it took me quite a long time to adapt from my way of life. But eventually I did, and I started looking that way. And all the things I'd done in the past, I may feel sorry for quite a lot of them, but to me, they became a growing stone to learn from. I.e., I made a lot of mistakes, and I have to learn through my mistakes. And this is what I'm doing. I'm still learning through the mistakes I done then. And I still have things I done then that I regret doing, especially when I was doing the pickpocketing. You know, when I was stealing off of people who were probably desperate and probably needed it, and I didn't realise at a little 15, 14-year-old boy that you were doing such a bad thing. You were thinking, oh, dearie me, everybody's a millionaire except for me, and I want to be the millionaire. So that was the road that I went down as a child. And that's the way I wasn't brought up. Mum and dad didn't say to me, oh, dearie me, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, away, go and steal as much as you can. My dad wasn't called Fagin. They told me the opposite. They taught me kind of business and how to, especially my grandparents. My grandparents were actually right on my case. They were like Victorians, so they were really telling me, Andy, you're going down the wrong road. Andy, you're going down the wrong road. You've got to change. And I was going, oh, up yours. I'll do what I want. I'm invincible. And I was that way for quite a while, yeah. And I didn't realise that the people that would give me good advice, who I thought were just on my case all the time, were actually helping me. I thought the opposite. I thought, I'm the man. You're just you know. Anyway, came here, got myself a job, and first job I had was £7.50 a day. Yeah, and it wasn't the best job in the world. It was more like a slave driving job rather than a job. But I done it anyway. And then I worked from there and it became a paint decorator. And the paint decorator was really, really good. And then I had a shop fitting company. So I moved on. I had people working for me then. And that was very successful. Then I became ill with Gardenia ulcers because I was drinking too much. I think I thought I was invincible then. And I was some kind of hard man that can drink you under the table, if you understand what I mean. So I'd go and have not 1 pint, 6, 7 pints at a time and all that kind of stuff, even more. And I got what's called gardenia ulcers. The Guinea ulcers were so painful. Oh dear me, I can remember them like yesterday, and I was collapsing all over the place, even though I was still doing this business and da 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 da. And I ended up in the hospital for quite a bit of time. And when I came out, I lost everything. Um, the what do they call the people that take the money off you when you owe a lot of money because you lent a lot of money? No, not bailiffs. Bailiffs are the ones that come take your furniture, but the other ones that actually take you to court to get their money back. You have to pay their money and their taxes and all that, the government taxes and stuff. So I always take to court and I one girl, you're not paying this, that, having to pay it all back, you know. So having to work out a payment system while I was still trying to, you know. And I spent quite 4 or 5 years then out of work, trying to live a life, you know. Then I came from there to go into fruit and vegetables, which was really good. I met quite some famous people doing the fruit and vegetables as it goes. I remember Glenda Jackson actually coming to one of the fetes for old age pensioners in an old folks home where I set up a stall with my 4 children and my wife. And we gave them every penny we made and we gave them all the fruit and veg and everything that was left over when we'd finished the day sale thing. And I just remember Glenda Jackson being one of the people, she was an MP for the area, and she just happened to be an MP that was coming there to open the fete. And I think she thought she was getting a fruit and veg for nothing. I think she was going to come along and just because that was where the photo shoot for the paper was, for the local paper, was to her to be there to get something off a stall and get a picture to all the different stalls. So when she came to my stall, she chose a little carrier bag with fruit and veg in it, and she was getting a photograph too. That's fair enough. But the fruit and veg bag, somebody can have it because the old people actually need this stuff. But she actually wanted the fruit and veg. So I had to actually say, hey, by the way, you're going to pay for that. And she paid for it and had a laugh. And away she went. And she was lovely, beautiful lady, beautiful lady. She was. And then, as I say, we didn't eat everything. But we had the business running from Monday to Friday. This was a Saturday. And the stuff that we were selling was stuff that we would have thrown away anyway. So it was a double-sided thing. I had made my money. This stuff wasn't going to be staying because Monday morning is not fresh. Fruit and vegetables, it goes off. Get rid of it. Get fresh. Bosh. So then I decided that I'm going to change this a little bit and I'm going to go into doing just the potatoes. I think it was a crazy decision at the time. But when I done this, I think it was the right decision to make, but not the right decision to carry on with because it was a heavy work. I'd start at 5 in the morning, get in my big lorry, fill it to the brim with potatoes, 500-600 sacks of potatoes a day. And then I would get a map. There was no Googles and all this, so I'd get up a paper and a map and I'd write down what direction I was going. And I would leave the city here and I would do every single chip shop and restaurant that I thought would buy potatoes. And I would be selling Morris Piper potatoes by the sack. And then I would be leaving my little phone number and everything. And I would do it half the price of any other competitor that bought for the same place. And I worked out who and what the prices were. And it became very, very profitable in the sense of most places would buy 5 or 6 sacks per week. So I'd go one route, there's your 5 or 6 sacks, and then I'd go the next route, 5 or 6 sacks, and then I would drive until I'd emptied the thing. But the problem is that you'd be starting at 5 in the morning, and you'd be lucky if you're finished by 7 and 8 o'clock at night, and then you'd have to be back at 5 in the morning. So it was, I don't think it could have lasted a bit longer than it did, but it was a business, and it was a good business, and it paid the bills, and it kept me going. So then I thought to myself, what can I do next? Now, I've always been into music, and I've always been into moving image. I love moving image. But I've always been into taking still image and making still image move. But I've also been into making videos, which I'm going to be trying to sort out and show you. I decided to become a celebrity photographer. That's it. Wow, there must be money in that. People are doing that, so I'm going to go do that. So I bought my camera equipment and I just went down and where did I go and do this? I didn't have a map and away I went and I done it. And I became very successful with that and I was actually very, very, very enjoyable. And I met so many celebrities. I can tell you stories with celebrities. Tell you about the time I was with Anthony Newley. I don't know if you know who he is, but me and him were singing away for about 2 hours. We go pick up Joan Collins' daughter. I never, Joan Collins' daughter sat in the back of my car. I never really met her and say, hi, how are you? I just knew who she was because he went, oh, that's my child, Joan Collins. He was a lovely guy. The time I was with Jules Holland and Robbie Coltrane, and I was the only person to ever take a photograph of the two of them together at the time. And that was at a restaurant called the Ivy in London. I was right there. I met him. Who else did I meet? Or the guy for Slade, Dory Holder. Oh, I met a load. I done a thing for a record breakers or whatever they're called. The one tells you what to break and going. They had all won records in the music business and that. One of him to one in photography. The time I got Vinnie Jones to walk about a big trolley full of books, that was funny. Vinnie Jones was nice, by the way, very nice guy. When I told Leonard Lewis he was going to win lose the world title, he just laughed at me. And then I met him at Jarrow and a Shanty's party, the In and Out party, and he went safe and he lost the title and won the title back. But I says to him, "You're going to lose the title," and he must have thought I was some kind of joker. And he went away to whatever it is in America and done his film thing, then went for the guy, and the guy punched him 1 or 2 times and he lost his title. That was funny. But Leonard Rose, another nice person. Most of the people I met was nice. You know, the nicest one for me as a person I met was when I was a minicab driver, and it was Boy George. And I met Boy George after that, and he was kind of ignorant. Right, okay, but when I met him as a person, i.e., not as a celebrity, as a person, but he was a celebrity already and whatever. But when I met him as a person, as a passenger in a vehicle when I was in the cabin, he was so intelligent about going from A to B and telling me which streets to turn, where to go, what lights to. He was. I enjoyed my company with him. I enjoyed my little bit of time with him. He made me feel like a person, not I'm this person who's whatever he's done. He actually was very, I actually quite enjoyed that time with him, and I thought he was nice. And then when I was a celebrity photographer, I just happened to be taking pictures of him in a nightclub or something, and he went, "Oh, typical paparazzi," and he gave me that kind of thing. And I just sort of said to him, "Hey, Jody boy, you can't remember me, can you?" And he gave me this look as if to say, "Who are you?" I went, "I'm your old minicab driver." And he went, "All right, hello." And away he went, you know. But the first day he didn't have a clue who I was. Just another person that just met so many people. Anyway, that was giving you an idea of my kind of life, you know. And there's some media that I'm going to try and sort out, especially the Lord Screaming Such thing, because my thoughts went out with his family when he passed away. And a week before he passed away, I was the last person on stage to actually video him. And he actually conducted the video. In other words, he showed me what to do when I was not 100% sure. And he didn't have to show me by saying to me, do this, do that. He showed me by his hands and his arms and everything. And he instructed me while he was live on stage doing his thing. And I was watching and going, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. I was kind of, because nobody had ever done that to me before. So, Lord Screaming Such, if his family's out there, I still think about him, by the way, as a person. Because when I met him, he was a happy-go-lucky, really cheerful person. And then it was sad to see a week later that he'd committed suicide because apparently his dog was 1 year before, a year before or something like that. I don't know the story, so I can't tell you the story of it. So my life's been an interesting life, so I will talk about my life. I will talk about things I've done. And if you want to hear about the silly things I've done when I was younger, I'll try to tell you something like that, but really I don't want to go there because it's history, and it might put in a book of time it's history, but it's kind of history for me to talk about. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, universal credit. Ha! Apparently what I'm doing right now is not creating, so I don't know what it is, but apparently what I'm doing just now is not a business. Writing a book, or making an ebook, or making merchandise to pass on or sell on or whatever to make some money out of is not a business. Yeah. TikTok is definitely not a business, and YouTube is definitely not a business. That's what my broker told me. Yeah, my broker that was supposed he's the person that's supposed to help me move my business on. Now he's the person my work coach put me to. Now he was young. Don't know what age he was. No idea. But I'd say young. Right? And he was taken back by my age to start off with. That was the first thing that took him back, was the age. The second thing that took him back was I was writing a book. Within 10 seconds of saying I was writing a book, it doesn't sound like a business to me. It doesn't sound like a viable business. And I thought to myself, so what is a viable business? Because there's a company called Waterstone that sells books. There's Amazon sells books, they sell ebooks. eBay sells books, ebooks. Spotify sells books. The list goes on and on and on. They might sell ebooks, but they sell books. And every ebook that sells makes the person who wrote it a little bit of commission. It's like music. A little bit of commission off your music. You understand? Now, if that's not a business, what is a business? And what is a business about? Now, what I was asking for wasn't anything special, wasn't it? Millions and millions of pounds. It was money to help me buy little things like this. Little things that cost me £50, £60, £100, whatever it is, which it would be better if I didn't have to dip into my benefits that's supposed to feed me, give me the right kind of food and everything else. But I have a dream, and the dream is stronger than anything else at the moment for some unknown crazy reason which I can't understand. But the dream's there, and my dream is to put my book out there, get people to join me, and create things. That's my dream. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stop just because some person says he doesn't think it's a business. The word think means a hell of a lot. Yeah. So anyway, I've decided I'm going to phone up to Universal Credit, because I was told it was a business 2 weeks ago, and I was told it's not a business about 3 days ago when I made this phone call to this person. And I'm going to find out how it all changed within that amount of time. From one person telling me it's a business, a solid business, to get passed on to the next person who had the power, believe it or not, to totally wipe up all my chances of moving on, which he's done, because his decision is final. He was called a broker, he worked for enterprise allowance when you're entitled to. Now the rules are, if you're over 18-year-old and you're on the benefits I'm on, you're entitled to it. So what does the word entitled mean? You're entitled to it if a person doesn't think it's a business? No. You're entitled to it if that person thinks it's a business. Tick that box. Work that one out. Have you ever started a business? You know it's a business. You can see where that business is going. You do a business that's brand new, and you go to a company to tell you you're entitled to this. We'll give you this 100%. And you go and you work and you do everything. And in my case, 2 or 3 years worth of work and preparing before I even talk to them about it, because I could see the way it goes, and I could see there's complications because people don't understand everything. And to be told by one person that he didn't think it was a business. He wasn't sure if it was a business. He couldn't understand it. So therefore, it's dead easy. I don't understand what you're telling me, so I'm going to ask the interpreter next to me, or I'm going to get an interpreter to come and explain to you, so that I can understand it. If I can't understand it, then how can I judge it? I have to pass it to someone else. There must be someone else. Can't it just be one person doing everybody in the UK's claim for enterprise allowance? You understand? So what I done after that was I got to their inquiry number online and I phoned up the Universal Credit people to explain to them and see where I would go next. And they didn't know where I would go next, and they told me that my work coach would phone me at 4 o'clock. That was yesterday. The day before yesterday. I'm still waiting on that phone call. It's never happened. So I'm going to phone up again Monday and find out where's that work coach that never phoned me. It's supposed to phone me because I had my phone 24/7 and it was waiting. And at 4 o'clock I kept looking at my phone and it never rang. So I don't know where these people come from, but they obviously live in different planets and have different time scales from me, because to me 4 o'clock's 4 o'clock. It's no 6 o'clock, it's no 10 past 4, it's no 20 past 4, and it's not the next day or the day after the day after. It's 4 o'clock that day. And the business doesn't stop that you're trying to get in, so therefore you have a time to do it. Yeah. So all this is happening so far. So far we're here, we're there. We're waiting to see. And on Monday we'll be talking. And on the next one I put out, right, because this one's far too long, I'm actually going to tell you about what I've done. So you're going to know the story of what I've done up to date. And you're going to quite like what I've done up to date if you sit and listen. And you may be able to advise me where to move on. No, I'm totally 100% hopeless with this stuff here. So I'm not even looking any further than using this laptop and this new phone I've got. I'm looking forward to using the new phone because I've never been really with a phone. But I really have this idea that I'm going to get on this TikTok thing and I'm going to be one of these guys that you follow me, I'll follow you, and I'm going to have grow parties. And I think that's the way for me to go forward. And I'm going to have separate from my writing. So my writing is going to be put out by someone else somewhere else. I've already got another person helping me, and I've got another person looking at my music, and I've got all that kind of stuff. So, and I've got contacts to get all this kind of stuff I'm trying to do. So I don't lack the moving on. I just lack the funding to move on. And I don't want GoFundMe pages and all that because it doesn't work, because I've tried it on, I've never got one penny. So I'd rather just go through the government thing, what I'm supposed to go through, and do it all 100%, and then try and create employment for other people to come and be employed by me. All my other businesses were successful, so I don't see why this one is going to fail. But I think the other person that I talked to, I think he was taken back by my age. He never said he was, but when I said to him I was 60 plus, I think it kind of frightened him. So I think you can't open a business in his eyes. I don't know who he is, I've got his name and everything, his phone number, but I'm not going to give it. But in his eyes, you can't open a business if you're over 60 odd. I think. I don't know. I wouldn't like to accuse the guy of something that I can't justify. Yeah. So anyway, it's 28 minutes so far, this is, so it's 29 minutes long. So I'm going to cut it now. It's just far too long. And I'll see you on the next one in about an hour, 2 hours time, and it'll be a shorter one.